Okay, here we go. So, this is going to be your main screen when you open up Slobs. Um, you're not going to see this, infinite fucking mirrored thing. You're generally just going to see like a black screen and that's it. You're going to see that, right? But since I have display capture on, the you're seeing all of my stuff. Okay? So, um the way to set it up, so say I wanted to stream Hunt Showdown, what you do is if you go into Hunt Showdown, you can see it says Hunt Game Cap. That's because this source, so you have scenes. All right, here's where I should start. So you have scenes over here. Scenes are like where you can build off of. I use them as like a different scene for each game, basically. So these are all the games that I stream from time to time. So the Hunt Showdown one will give you an example. This within your scenes are sources. In the sources, if you press this plus button, also you can press the plus button over here to like add more scenes. You can name them whatever you want. You can also right click them and rename them or remove them or add filters to them. Filters we'll get to later. But anyways, so say we're in this one. This is the tutorial one, and I want to add Hunt Showdown to this. Let's say this calculator is Hunt Showdown, right? So for Hunt Showdown, I would go to Game Capture. Okay, so these are all the different sources there are. There's a lot of different stuff to go through. Display capture, obviously, captures literally your entire display. So if you look, like you can see my taskbar here, even though, and like this is my regular taskbar, but in the stream, this is my taskbar. You're seeing all my windows and whatever. And if this is bothering you, you can get rid of it by right clicking. This is your preview area. So this shows you everything that's going out into the stream. And so if like this is, confusing you and getting in the way, you can right click here and go to performance mode, and that'll turn everything off. Now the stream is still going, which I can prove by going to Chrome and going to Twitch and looking at my stream here. So now you're seeing me looking at my stream on Chrome, which it's still going to show like the mirroring effect, but you get the idea. So, yeah, so anytime you're playing a game, anytime you're streaming a game, you generally want to have performance mode on. The only downside to performance mode, because otherwise, basically, your computer is not only streaming the game, it's also having to render all this shit, here that's going on, and that takes away resources. So the only bad part about performance mode, which is why I'll periodically like go back to this window and turn it on and turn off performance mode and just like look at everything. Because like I said, remember my camera freezes sometimes because I have to use a janky cell phone app to fucking to make it work. But yeah, so if I go to performance mode, I can't see anything. But if you notice also down here, it doesn't show my audio readout anymore, which is really annoying and makes no sense because it totally could just still show the audio out, like show my meters and just not show the video. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea, but apparently they did. Anyways, so Yeah, so to add a source, you go here, you would go game capture, you click add a source, and then here are sources that I've already added. So it'll save like existing sources that you've already added. So Hunt Showdown, I named it Hunt Game Cap, but if you go to add a new source, you can name it whatever you want, and then you just click add source. Um, and so let's just name it, we'll just leave it game capture, hit add source, and this is what it's going to look like. So there's auto mode. You can go to capture specific window, which is usually what you have to do. uh, a lot of stuff doesn't work with auto mode, and actually a lot of stuff doesn't even work with game capture, and so you'll have to do a window capture instead, but we'll get to that in a second. So what you do is you go here, and the best way to do it is go to capture specific window, and then this drop down will show you all the windows that are open. So like I said, if I open this calculator, hold on, let me see if it'll show it there. No, it doesn't want to show the calculator as a fucking game because it doesn't recognize that as a game. But the point is, it'll show up here. And these settings here pretty much just copy what I have down. You don't want to limit the capture frame rate here. You're going to limit the capture frame rate elsewhere in the settings. But leave capture cursor on. Always leave the anti-cheat compatibility hook on, because especially Hunt Showdown and a game I play called Brawlhalla and many other games use easy anti-cheat as their anti-cheat system, and without using this compatibility hook, it uh, a lot of times won't open the game, or it won't let you online in the game because it's detecting a cheat on your system. But recording obviously is not a cheat. It's just how the cheat system works. Um, I always leave third party overlays off, but you can have them on. But like when someone logs on Steam and it's like Fuckface McGee is playing Terraria or whatever, and it says it down here, that'll show up in your streams. So it's up to you whether you want that on or not. This I think should also capture the Discord third party overlay. So if you have a bunch of people talking and you have the little talking heads like up here in the corner, um, it should capture it. I'm not sure. In general, I'll recommend you to just not use Discord overlay at all. In fact, don't use any overlays at all, aside from the Streamlabs one, because they use a lot of resources for a lot of different games, especially for Hunt. Um, Hunt specifically, the Steam overlay that like gives you the FPS up in the top right corner here, that apparently uses quite a bit of resources and will cut your FPS down pretty badly. Um, so yeah, so I leave that off. Your hook rate is going to be how fast the game tries to hook in, uh, compared to the anti-cheat. So some games will have the anti-cheat system not turn on for like 30 seconds, just to try and catch people that will like start up the game and then they'll wait and then toggle their cheats on. So then you would want to put it on slow. Generally, normal works. There's a few games where I've had to put it on fast or fastest, just to get past the anti cheat. And then for the color space, just do sRGB. So that's it for setting up a game. Let's get rid of that source. These sources that I have here are I they're not I don't know. They're not super important for you to know right now, but I could go over them later for you. I could do like another video or another stream for you on how to set them up. Basically, this is my chat box. So if I'm like hello, it shows up here, and this shows up in the stream. So anyone watching the stream sees this chat. I don't see this chat, and that's where having the overlay comes in. So Streamlabs has its own overlay that allows you to see the chat and stuff. But this chat box is only for the viewers of chat, and you can make it as big or as small as you want. If you click on the gear on it, there's themes to it. There's a delay to how long it takes for the new message, for a message to disappear. I have mine set to 45 seconds because not many people watch my videos. So, like, it's fine if the message stays on there for a while. The chat delay is how long it takes for the person to press enter before their message shows up on screen. I have it at 0. Um, let's see. The rest is kind of just like cosmetic stuff. Um, you don't really need to do anything. I would I would enable all these emotes. 7TV can have some emotes that will break terms of service on Twitch. Like there could be like some, I don't know, like weird nudity emotes or whatever. So be careful with enabling them. But other than that, better TTV and Franker Faces fucking emotes are totally fine. And then they have their own thing, which is something that we can get into again in another video. But you can change the text color, you can change the font size. 36 is pretty good. I keep it at 36. But yeah, you can make it whatever you want. The chat bots I have hidden. Anyone that's like typing a command, I have hidden, just so that like if there's a bunch of people trying to type a command, like when I play Brawlhalla, I have a command set up to bring up my room number so that people can join my room, like the viewers can join my room. And so I have that command, like if somebody types that in, it'll hide it so that my chat isn't just filled with fucking, exclamation point room, comments and whatever. So that's the chat box. The alert box, I think I showed you yesterday, is your like sub alerts and your follow alerts. And the way you make them, so here, let's just go to follow. The way you make them is you can set the media. There's I'm honestly not sure how big the file can be, but you can have GIFs, you can have still images. There's also stock files. So these are ones that come with Streamlabs. So you can just use these. Some of them you have to buy. Like some of them are only with the, ultra thing. But fuck that. Don't ever pay for ultra. It's not worth it. I used to use this owl GIF a lot before I figured out how to add my own owl that I drew, and like some other owl pictures and stuff. And then this is like for Brawlhalla. This is like some psychotic fucking church cult people dancing, and I put like some heavy metal music behind it. And then you can go down here to where it says sound, and you can change the sound. So you can upload your own sounds. You can altogether you can have 1 gig's worth of stuff that you upload. Um, and then there's also again stock sounds. So my follow right now uses a stock sound. So there it is. I can turn it up a little louder. Down here, you can also test them all. If you hit test widgets, it brings out all your little things and you can press follow. Yeah. So there you go. That's the alert box. That's the quick and dirty on that. Face cam, face cam is going to be whatever your webcam is. It'll show up here, and then my settings probably will change for yours, but if you kind of just do default, it should pick up everything for you basically. And then since I have a mic, um, I I don't want to capture audio from my camera. And so if I go into my audio settings, see my face cam is muted and turned all the way down. And in fact, I don't want it even on any tracks at all. The tracks I'll get to, but the cool thing with Facecam is you can add filters to it. So like you can see how my camera is not a perfect square. It's kind of like fuzzy on the edges. And that's because I went into GIMP and made a little outline for it. I have a few different ones. So like there's like, I did some testing. There's some that are better. This one is specifically for a game called Boomerang X, where I want to have my camera here in the corner, but there's a little counter of like the wave that I'm on. It's kind of like a wave based shooter, like arena based shooter. And I wanted people to be able to see which wave I'm on, but still see my camera. And there was no other good place to put my camera. So I left it here and I just made a little cutout for the wave. So that's what that filter is. But yeah, you right click on it, go to filters, edit filters. And then the outline, right now I'm using Facecam to open, and then I drag it off screen just slightly. Also, for some reason, in Streamlabs, so if you hold Alt and click and drag, you can like get rid of part of the video without, like, if I were to just drag this now, it actually shrinks the whole thing, right? But if you hold Alt and do it, you can see the line turns into like a dotted line, and you can just get rid of part of it, right? So say I was like, oh, I don't want anyone to see my taskbar in this video. I could just do that, right? And then right click on this, go to transform, and go to stretch to screen, and it'll stretch to the whole screen, right? But there's a weird bug with face cams that, so it might be hard to tell. um Actually, here, let me put it like here. So if you look at it right now, it'll actually, like, the opacity, you'll be able to see through it more if I start to do that. So like, see, it's very subtle, but like, see, you'll see some words come through the top of my head. See? I hope it shows up well, and or like right here, it'll says like 19 by 20 or whatever. Yeah. So there's something weird with Facecam that doesn't work properly in slobs like that. Um but yeah, aside from that, there's a bunch of other filters. So the other filters I have on are crops. So if I do this here and go to, whoops, go to the crops and make this 0 and 0. So this is what my camera normally looks like. It has these like black bars on it, right? and I don't want them. So I just trial and error figured out, that it's 350 is what I need on each side to still have the sort of like gradient that I made, um, without having it be like a straight jagged line. And the reason I did that is because in Brawlhalla, it's a 2D fighting game, and I wanted, like, if the character goes behind my camera, I want people to still be able to see what I'm doing. And so I would also go to color correction, and you can see it's at 94. So you can change the opacity, to whatever you want. So like everything else, every other game, I have it on 100, but on Brawlhalla, I have it at like, I think at like 98 or something like that. Um, but yeah, and you can change like the saturation, with like whatever you fucking want. You can make yourself look all kinds of crazy. They do have some like presets. Like I could probably use this one for Hunt Showdown. That would actually be pretty funny. Um, but yeah, there's all kinds of different stuff you can do, and you can do those filters. So those filters are for um any like video thing. So if I bring up this display capture, I can go to the filter and I can make my display capture sepia, or I can add, there's like you can make it like scroll, like it'll keep, going loop from like side to side and whatever. Um there's let's see. Color key is how you set up a green screen. Um, so basically, if I had a green, I used to have a set of curtains that I tried to use as a green screen. It worked okay, but it wasn't the best. And I decided that I would just wait and figure out a way to do a proper green screen instead, because they just weren't the right color. But anyway, so color key, you basically set the color of whatever the screen is, and it'll erase all that, and you can see through it, and then everything else is just, it would show like which is just, that's just green screen. So that's that. There's also audio filters, um, which I use a lot for my voice and for the game, because some games are not loud enough. Sometimes my voice is not quite loud enough. And if you go into the audio settings, you can't go above 100. In regular OBS, you can go above 100 and like boost tracks. But in Slobs, you can't, and it's really fucking annoying. Let me turn this alert box down before somebody follows and blows my fucking ears out. But anyway, so yeah, so um, basically you can copy all my settings except for my audio settings, because I use a special program called Voicemeeter to it basically gives me like virtual input and outputs inside my computer. So basically, where you plug your headphones into, this program gives me two extra headphone plugs that aren't real, that are just inside my computer. It's That's like the most basic way to explain it. But you can also, you can control the volume, you can control some compression, which will make soft sounds louder and loud sounds quieter to keep things like, a little more evened out. Noise gates, work by, fucking it, like, if say there's like a 4 decibel noise gate, anything under 4 decibels, it won't come through. and then anything that goes above 4 will come through. So if you have some background noise, if you have like a fan or something in your room, you can set up a noise gate that will basically stop the fan from constantly being playing. It'll still play when you talk, because when you talk, the mic just opens and it does, and it'll play everything that the mic is hearing. But when you're not talking, you're not going to hear that fucking fan going on and off the whole time. And any audio source here in your mixer can have those filters added to them. So there's video filters and audio filters. And in the audio filters, I don't know if you know about VSTs, um, or plugins for like music and stuff, but in Slobs, if you go to VST plugin and hit add, you can select, these are plugins that I have that I use like for when I'm making music. And so there's quite a, like, you can, the ones that it shows, if you just go to add filter, the ones that it shows here, aside from VST, are the ones that come with Streamlabs, and you can do a pretty good bit with them. Some of them are not the best or whatever, like the compressor is not so great, but if you download a VST compressor that's good, and trust me, there's a ton of free good plugins, then you can go down here and, like, say I go to M compressor. Hold on, I'm gonna turn the eye off just so it doesn't actually use it. Um, but and then you press like open plugin interface, and here it is. So this is like my compressor that I could use instead of the built-in one. Um, but yeah, and then to close it, you have to close it from here. Like, if you'll notice, there's no X here. I can minimize it, but I can't close it here. It's weird. I don't know why it's like that, but to close it, you have to close it from there. So yeah. But yeah, as you can see, I have noise suppression on. So this one, uh voice meter aux is my voice, obviously, as you can tell, because that's the only one making noise. And I have noise suppression on it. This noise suppression that comes with Streamlabs, the RN noise, is actually really, really good. Like, really fucking good noise suppression. I was very surprised. And it says more CPU usage. It doesn't really use that much more. So if you have a mic that's like not so great, I would suggest trying to use this and see if it helps a bit. The only thing with it is, like, it won't catch you, like, it doesn't always catch small sounds. So if you kind of like whisper, like sometimes I'll make a joke where I like whisper or something, or like I'll laugh without like laughing out loud and just kind of be like, like whatever. Sometimes it won't pick that up, which is also why I keep my mic fairly close to my face. And then I have a boost plugin. This one doesn't come with Slobs. This is just a boost plugin, but it's also a limiter. So you can see when I speak and it would get like loud, you can see it's actually reducing, it's cutting off the peak of my voice. So see how it keeps stopping here? No matter how loud I get, I can be like, ah, it doesn't stop. It doesn't go any higher than that. And you could see it was reducing it the whole time. So this is a really cool plugin, very useful. I use it to boost the game. I use it to boost music when I'm playing music during a game. And that way, if a song comes on and is just fucking like jamming and blaring, I can limit it so that you can still hear my voice over it. Same with the game. Like the game, I can make it so that it's loud enough for the listeners, but to me, it's not blowing my fucking ears out. So that's very useful. But all right, so that's settings for sources and stuff. That's how you add sources. When you go to add sources, there's if you just read these, they're pretty. They give you like a pretty decent idea of what they are. And then there's just straight up audio sources, like audio output sources or input sources. So, this is how using audio output and input sources and stuff, that's how I'm able to use this program that I use to get fucking like the virtual inputs and outputs and stuff. But you can do text like a lot of times if I got to go to the bathroom or something, I'll just put a text source on the screen that's like, gotta go poopy, be right back in 5 minutes or whatever. Um, or you can do, uh, like say I didn't want you to say I was like doing a tutorial and there was no way for me to like hide my face or something. You could do something like this too, like literally just put a block of fucking color over it and hide it, that kind of stuff. Or like, again with the taskbar, if I wanted to, I could just go like that, and that's whatever, nobody would know. um so yeah, that's how you do some sources. Now, as for the settings, these are the actual settings that you're going to want to like copy like from me. Like I said, the audio settings you're probably not going to be able to copy, but it's very simple, and I am sure that you can figure out how to set yours up, especially if you just have a mic and the game and like your computer and that's it. Or speakers or whatever. So like if you have headphones and a microphone, you should easily be able to figure it out. But okay, so you go down here, you click settings, that brings up this window, and I'm gonna try and cover up the infinite mirror in the background while still having my face so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Um, let's see. All right, yeah, all this you can copy directly. You can just directly copy what settings I have. The only things that could be personal preference for you are this output section here. So I have mine set to automatically start the replay buffer, which is what this is here. If I click save replay, it'll save the last. I have it set to 3 minutes. I talked a little bit about this yesterday, but I have it set for 3 minutes. So if I click this button, or if I do my keyboard hotkey, which you can set to whatever you want, it'll save the last 3 minutes as if it were a video, basically. And also you can, like I'm streaming right now. Um, if you hit stop here, this is to stop the instant replay. That's not to stop streaming. End stream is to stop streaming. This little record thing, you can start recording a video at any time during the stream. And I also have a hotkey set up to turn that on as well. So like hold on a sec. Sorry. This is bugging me. Okay. So like in Hunt, if I don't know, if I'm like hearing three teams in a compound, and I'm like, oh shit, here we go. And I go to bust in there, I could just quickly turn on the recording until the whole action is done, you know? Because like with the replay, there's no guarantee that the whole encounter is going to last 3 minutes, you know, and be done within 3 minutes. So it's up to you. You can either like start recording, or you can just keep hitting the replay. Because like say you save the last 3 minutes of the replay, um, and then you wait for another 2 minutes and then save the replay again, you're still going to catch the last 30 seconds of the previous replay. And then all you do is take it into an editing software and just like link it up, you know, and kind of erase the extra 30 seconds and just link it up together. And it'll look as if it's one recording. So it's a little more work. So it's sometimes better. I think it's better to just like start recording and then, you know, and then just stop whenever you're done if you're going to record stuff during stream. Because, like I said, Twitch VODs will never be as good of quality as an actual recording will. It's just the nature of streaming. It'll never be as good. You know, you just can't get it to be as good. But anyway, so yeah, you can read these. You can have a dialogue when you're starting a stream. It's basically just a box that comes up and is like, hey, are you sure you want to start streaming? And that way, you know, you don't like accidentally click this with your balls hanging out or something and it starts streaming, you know? And same with the ending, the streaming, you don't accidentally click it and end your whole stream and not realize it. And then you've been playing a game for like 9 hours and realize that none of it has actually been streamed. Um, and there's this, which will automatically record when you're streaming. I don't like doing this just because it takes up too much room. It's you just if you get good at remembering to click this or using your hotkey, then you'll save a lot of space on your drive. If you have a huge fucking drive, then fuck it, you know, go for it, do it. And then you can have it where it keeps recording after the stream stops. So say you're playing a game, you're streaming it, and then you're like, all right, I'm done streaming. You end the stream, but you keep the recording going because you're going to keep playing the game. And, you know, you might get some clips that you want to put into like a YouTube video or something. That I usually have the replay buffer active when the stream stops. But a lot of time, it's not very often that I like keep playing after I'm done streaming. Because usually when I end streaming, it's because I'm going to bed because I stream late at night. So that's general. Multi-streaming, you don't need to worry about. Stream, this is where you hook up and connect to whichever platform you want to stream to. You can only stream to one through Slobs, but there is a website called Restream that allows you to stream to another one, so you can stream to YouTube and Twitch at the same time. You're technically like not allowed to do that, but I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But I don't do it because I don't really trust Restream with like my stream key and having access to my Twitch account. Because like if I'm kind of like building everything off of Twitch and YouTube, and so like if I can have as few programs with access to those accounts like as I can, then I feel much better, you know. Um, so yeah, so I just streamed to Twitch. If I want to stream to YouTube, literally I just switch it over to YouTube. Like you can just log out and log into YouTube and it's fine. It's very simple. So that's all you got to know for that. output. This is where you're going to want to copy shit. This is where you're going to want to copy everything that I have. Uh, so Twitch VOD 4, this is the audio track. So if I go to my audio tracks, these are all the audio tracks you can have. You can have up to 6. Um, and that's what, if I go to these global settings, that's what this is. So this first one is my game sound and my computer sounds, like anything that comes out of my computer. So I have that going to track 1, which track 1 is, of course you can't have two fucking things open at the same time. But hold on, output audio. So track 1 you can see is called mix. So I have my voice and my game audio going to track 1. And then I also have my voice going to track 3 by itself. And then I have the game audio going to track 2 by itself. And the reason I do that is for editing purposes. Because it, like, when you load it into an editing software, it'll load all those tracks. So I know number 1 is the mix, and say I need to turn my voice up in certain parts of the mix. Well, if I only have one track where the game and my voice are both mixed together in that track, I can't turn my voice up. I have to turn the whole track up, which is also going to turn up everything in the game, which doesn't actually turn my voice up. It just makes everything louder, you know? So having a mix is good, because it like the way streaming works, the way Twitch works, you have to have one track be your streaming track. So mine is 1. If I had my way, I wouldn't even have a mix track. I would just have everything on a separate track. But on in Slobs, you have to have one track for the streaming. So everything goes to track 1. Everything that I want to make noise goes to track 1, right? Um, so I have all this stuff going to track 1. And let's see, I don't have music in here. Hold on, let me go to Brawlhalla real quick and then show you here. So see my music here, like everything is going to track 1 and 4. Music is not going to 4, right? The reason for that is so that I can play, because I have in my settings, let me get back to it here. Hold on. In my settings for my Twitch VOD, you want to select this. If you're going to play music, you want to select this and then select a specific track for the VOD. Okay. And so I have everything going to track 4 except for that music channel. And that way I can play Pandora while I'm playing Brawlhalla and listen to music. But in the VOD, there won't be any music and I won't get any copyright strikes. So that's how you can avoid getting copyright strikes and still play, you know, actual music during your streams. And the only way to do that really is with Voicemeeter, with this program. Now this program's pretty easy to set up, and there's a lot of videos on YouTube that could help you, or even I could help you set it up. But yeah, basically it makes a separate input output, like a virtual input output in the computer, and then I have Chrome set to only play through that virtual input output, and then I set that to be on track 4. And then everything else goes on track 4 because I want everything else to also be on the VOD. Or no, sorry. The 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 virtual input output I don't set to track 4. everything else does go to track 4 because I want it to be in the VOD. I just don't want the music to be in the VOD. That's all. So yeah, so you can copy everything here. You said you play in 1440. You're gonna stream in 1080. Um, I don't think you're gonna be able to stream in 1440. It's not gonna look any better than 1080. I think 1080 is about the best you can get it to look on stream. At least right now. Like Twitch gets better over time. It used to be 720p. Like you used to, no matter what you decided, like if you go to video, so like your base resolution is what your monitor is, what you play at, and then the output is what you are going to be streaming or recording in. And like you can select 1440, but it's not gonna look like 1440. It's gonna look like 1080. And then so back to the streaming here. You have a 3080, so you want to select this encoder. I can't click any of these because I'm streaming right now. You can't change these settings while you're streaming. But there's three different encoders. There's X264, I believe, which uses your CPU to stream, which is shit. Don't use it. It's like just don't use it. That's all you need to know about it. And then there's an old NVENC 264, and then there's a new one. Use the new one. The new one was sort of janky, but it's pretty good now. So use the new one. And then make sure to untick this box that says enforce streaming service encoder settings, because if you leave this ticked, it'll cap your bit rate at 6,000. Twitch only allows you to have a bit rate up to 6,000, but you notice mine is at 7,000. I used to have it at 8,000, but I brought it down to 7 because your bit rate will fluctuate. You can do 7,500, but if it goes above I forget, it's in the low 8,000s. I think if it goes above that, you can get frame issues. So I have it at 7,000 or 7,500 so that my stream is really smooth and nice, stays 1080p and looks good, doesn't drop any frames, and Twitch doesn't fuck me over. And that's why you uncheck this box, because otherwise, even if you set this at 7,000, if you check this box, Twitch will only put through like 5,500 to 6,000. And you want to do rate control CBR, which is constant bit rate. Constant bit rate? I believe it's constant bit rate. Yeah. And then your keyframe interval, you want to do 2. Preset, you want to do quality. There is a low latency. There's like a low latency quality and a low latency performance, and like a max quality and a performance preset. I just use quality. I've tried other ones, and hey, what's up, Silo? I'm almost done with the tutorial, and then I'll be playing some Hunt Showdown. If you can stick around for like, I don't know, another 10 minutes or so, I promise I'll be playing something. I'm doing a little tutorial for a friend of mine that popped in the other day. But okay. So yeah, like I've done some testing and done research on it, watched a bunch of videos of other people that know a lot more shit than I do that have done testing on it, and the low latency presets don't actually make any difference in terms of latency, as far as anyone can tell. Same with the quality versus performance. I believe the performance one kind of just looks like shit and doesn't actually give you that much boost in a performance. So just use quality. You always want the profile to be high. And this is just for streaming. So the recording stuff's going to be different. And then you want 2 max B frames. Um, it's not important that you know what any of this stuff means right now. Um, if you have multiple GPUs, so I forget what your CPU was, but if it has an iGPU, like if it has an integrated graphics card in it, um, you need to figure out which number GPU your 3080 is. If you don't have an iGPU, then your 3080 is going to be 0. But this is the only thing that you need to change, and you only need to change it if you have multiple graphics cards. You want whatever your strongest card is, which is going to be your 3080, to be selected. So mine is 0, and then 2 max B frames. So now so that's for streaming. If you go to recording, you're going to want to you go to browse and pick a folder where you want all your recordings to go. And then audio track, this is like picking which tracks are going to be picked up in your recordings. I only need this on 1. Actually, I want 1, 2, and 3 because I want the mix, and then I want the game, and I want my voice. 5 I have as like my chat box, or actually 5 is my alert box, and 6 is my chat box, I believe. And then 4 is obviously the music. But for if I'm recording something, I don't need these because these are just gonna make the file bigger because it's gonna be an extra hours long worth of fucking audio, high definition audio, that I don't need. So I should only need 1, 2, and 3 because I have everything going to 1. Let me just make sure. Yes. So yeah, so I have everything going to 1. So I don't actually need, if I go to Hunt Showdown, yeah, everything goes to 1. Perfect. Okay. So yeah, so for my recording, here you can see this is the game. I have it at 1 and 2, and then this is my voice. I have it at 1 and 3. So 1 is going to be a mix of everything, and then 2 is only going to be the game, 3 is only going to be my voice. And that way I can fuck with the levels. I can add filters and stuff to the game volume. I can add filters to my voice without screwing up the full mix, basically. And then music I have on 1. And it says here stream tracks. So these are your recording tracks. And here are your stream tracks. So if you go into the settings and I were to go to output recording and I click 5 and 6, and now I go back here, now all of a sudden 5 and 6 show up here. So, okay, I do actually want 5 then. All right. 5, I have Discord. So sometimes I play games with other people where I have their Discord chat. And this is why this is why Voicemeeter is so fucking awesome, because I can now have their voices separate from my voices in the recording. And I can like change their voices however I need to, volume wise or filter wise or whatever, all kinds of stuff. Like it's awesome. Voicemeeter is like easily the best fucking program that I ever found. But yeah, so number 4 doesn't go into recordings because I'm never going to be recording music, copyrighted music, obviously. because that's going to get me copyright strikes on any platform. So let's see, where were we? Output. Okay. So recording. So you pick the audio tracks that you're going to have open. Again, you're going to do the new NVENC. You don't need any custom muxer settings. You're going to record an MKV. You can do MP4, but if you do MP4 and say you have some sort of crash on your computer or like the power goes out or something, your recording will become corrupted and you can't do shit with it. With MKV, it'll just stop wherever the power went out or whatever. And then you can MKV, you can still put into any fucking like editing software and still edit it just fine. So ignore custom muxer. I would say this is up to you if you want to do automatic file splitting or not. What this does, how I have it set up right now, is to split by time, and I set the time to 15 minutes. So every 15 minutes, if I'm recording, not streaming, if I'm recording a video, every 15 minutes, it's going to split it into a new file. And that way, through my video, instead of having one video that's 5 hours long, that I then have to load into my editing software and like, wait for it to fucking chug and, load it all up. Now I just have 15-minute, sections of that video that I can load in and do like at a time basically. And it just makes the workflow a little faster. So it's up to you. You can change this time. There's also different kinds of splitting. So you can split, I think you can split at like certain sizes, so like a certain gigabyte size or whatever. And there might be one other thing, but I have it set to split by time if I record. Um and then I have the timestamps reset at the beginning of each split file, because that makes it easy. So yeah, that's personal preference for you. This rate control, you just want to copy this, do CQP, do 18 level, and you want 2 keyframes. And in recording, I've been trying low latency quality. But you can either do low latency quality or quality. I've just been doing some experimenting with low latency quality, and I forgot to change it back because honestly I don't record with slobs that much. A lot of my recordings I do in OBS because I don't need the chat and stuff to be there. And OBS is I like it better for recording. But yeah, in recordings, you're going to want to check the box for psychovisual tuning. In streaming, we didn't check that box. In recording, you do check that box. You want it. And then you still want 2 max B frames. Audio, you should label your tracks just so you know which ones are which. So this is my mix. Track 2 is my gameplay. Track 3 is my voice. Track 4 is specifically to the Twitch VOD, so like that's where the the music and shit goes. Track 5 is Discord VC voice chat. And also if somebody writes me a message on Discord and it pings, it'll go on to track 5. So if I'm recording something and someone is, fucking sending me a bunch of messages or whatever, it'll be on a separate track and I can just mute that track and then it's not in the video, and same with follow alerts. Say something exciting was happening in the game, or I was saying something important and I got a follow during me saying it and it kind of like made it hard for me to hear. I have that on a separate track, and that way I can, you know, turn it down so that you can hear whatever I wanted you to hear. Um, the bit rate, 128 should be good for you. 128 is normal and fine. And then here's the replay buffer. Enable it and set it to however long you want it. Just remember that this is time in seconds, not minutes. So, you know, when you set it, just remember that. But you can set it as much as you want. The only limit to it is your gigabytes of RAM. That's the only limit to it. So like 5 minutes, which I have it set to, is like nothing really. And I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it's VRAM, which is your graphics card RAM. So for a 3080, you should have enough to do like 15 minutes easily. Um, but I would have to look that up. I can't remember if it's only VRAM or if it's VRAM plus your dedicated RAM or if it's only dedicated RAM. I really I can't remember. But I usually have a small replay buffer anyway because that's kind of like the point of it. But like when I would play Tarkov, uh, I would set it at like 15 minutes because the fights would be, you know, pretty long. Like it's a lot of like stalking each other and fighting and stuff. And so for Hunt, I have it at 5 minutes because it's similar, but the fights are a little quicker. You know, you die fairly quickly. But I've kind of been going back and forth between doing either 5 minutes or 10 minutes. But yeah, this is entirely up to you. And like I said, if you have it set so that it automatically turns it on when you're streaming, you can set a hotkey. So if you go to your hotkeys here, you can set hotkeys for everything. And if something says start recording and stop recording, and you set the same hotkey for it, it turns it into a toggle hotkey. So if I press Control plus symbol on the numpad, it'll start recording, and then if I press Control plus again, it'll stop recording. So it turns it into a toggle. My save replay is Alt Control R. My in-game overlay, which you won't be able to see this, but I see this, and this is I think that thing that I showed you yesterday. But it's that overlay where like I can see chat in games, but the game has to be in borderless mode. It can't be in exclusive full screen mode. And then you can also toggle performance mode, which is that fucking uh you know, the thing that I told you that you should always have on when you're playing a game. Um okay, I don't think I need anything more on here. Yeah. And then this is the Streamlabs dashboard. I think I showed this to you earlier. But yeah, you can make alert boxes and stuff in here. They have a lot of different options and stuff. But the way you have to do an alert box here, so like here to do an alert box, I can just change it like in here, and then all I got to do is go to general. After I make changes, you go to general settings, browser settings, and hit refresh cache of current page, and that will refresh the alert box and enact the changes that you made. If you try to do it through the dashboard, what you have to do is copy the widget URL, and then go here and go to browser settings and or advanced or follow fucking Custom code. I don't know. I forget where to do it, where to do this at. Um, hmm. I don't know. I forget where you actually do that at, where you put that URL in it at to do it from the dashboard. But whatever. Anyways, because the better way to do it is to just do it in Streamlabs. Honestly, I think it's better. Um, Actually, it might be if you go to alert box settings here. Yeah, and then this takes you to the dashboard, and then um oh, I forget how to do it. And I don't want to fuck up mine. So I'm not going to do it. But I know there's a way to do it from the dashboard. But anyways, um so yeah, we don't need anything more from that. Um let's see. Okay, back to settings. I think we're almost done here. So we did the output, we got to the replay buffer. Oh, to get all this stuff up here where it says output mode, you need to change this to advanced, not simple. And then it'll give you all these options. I should have said that first. Sorry. All right. So now we go to audio. Um, to figure out your audio rate. Oh shit, I'm still on Hunt Showdown. My bad. Um, to figure out your audio rate, if you go down here to your little voice thing, like the little speaker symbol, right click it and go to sounds. Okay. And then you're gonna want to go to you're gonna want to go to playback and go to whatever you're using as your playback. So if you're using headphones, then you go to headphones. So and then you right click that and go to properties and go to advanced and no, hold on. Okay, yeah. Because this is the one that I'm using. Sorry. So you go to I'm using voice meter input. This is technically my headphones, um, or or my speakers or whatever. So yeah, so you go to properties, go to advanced, and you can pick what you want. Like you can pick whichever you want. Like I could technically go up to 192. But I have it at 4800 hertz right now because it makes things easier because most things are 4800 hertz. Like this microphone can only either do 41,000 or 48,000 hertz. So, and 48,000 hertz is good. Like it's good audio quality. Don't be fooled by the big giant number. Most fucking people can't even hear that difference. So, anyways, in settings, go to audio, set it to whichever one you're using. So see even in fucking even in slobs, it's you're either doing 44 or 48. So I do 48. You want to do stereo, especially if you play Hunt Showdown, which I know you said you were mostly gonna fucking stream. Even if your headphones can do 7.1 surround sound, don't do it. Do stereo because the audio for Hunt was built around stereo, not 7.1 surround sound. So if you did change it to 7.1 surround sound, hearing like footsteps, you know, like vertically, or determining where they actually are and stuff, would be a lot harder than if you just did stereo. So, and you want your listeners to be able to, you know, hear the same thing that you're hearing. So, yeah, so just do stereo. Desktop audio device one is going to be, like I said, your main listening device. So mine is voice meter input. Yours is probably going to be headphones, or if you use speakers, it's going to be speakers. And then you can set a second one, and then you can set your input device. This is your microphone. Mine is, because if I open voice meter, this is my mic, and I have it going to B2, which is voice meter auxiliary. And so that's why voice meter auxiliary output is my microphone. Um, to change all that shit in voice meter, you go again, you right click on your little speaker down here, and instead of sounds, you go to sound settings, and your output, you know, you set to like your headphones or whatever, and your input you're going to set to your microphone or whatever. If you go to advanced options, this is how I get music to play, in without it being in the VOD. So I go to um shit. All right, hold on. So I'm gonna mute that for a second. But if I go to sounds, app and volume, see Google Chrome, I have it set to cable input, which, you know, is not voice meter output auxiliary or voice meter input. Cable output is the virtual output. So even if I play this right now, it shouldn't uh well, okay. I don't have it set up on this scene because I was not expecting to play music on this scene, obviously. Um, but if I go to if I go to Brawlhalla and go here, music, you can see I have it called V cable input music, and see it doesn't go to 4. And so like I could play this music and like I can hear it, but the stream should hear it, but in the VOD it's not going to be in there. Which is super fucking cool and awesome. And but you can do this with anything. Any program you can set, like if you have speakers and headphones, you can set any program to output to only the speakers or only the headphones. So like if you only watch porn on Chrome and you just browse on Firefox, you can set Chrome to only ever go to your headphones, you know? And like Firefox could just only go to the speakers, like, you know, that kind of shit. So yeah, it's useful to know all that shit. So that's audio. That's how you set that up. Now, video, we briefly went over this. Your base canvas is just what your monitor is, like, you know, what you use on a daily basis. So I use 1440, and then your output is going to be what your recording or stream comes out to. And even though this is under video and not stream, this is your stream, you know, and like under output, it's not here either. It's this is still your stream. Like it's this is just for all video in Slobs. So I used to do this 1536, which is 66% of 1440, and it it looks like shit. So I switched back to 1080, and cuz I couldn't get good frames in Hunt Showdown, and so I tried doing this, and it just looked bad. Like I got decent frames, but it didn't look good in stream. So I went back to 1080, which is 75% of 1440, and is still very nice and clear. You're gonna wanna the downscale filter. You're gonna wanna use Lanchos. I don't know, whatever. 32 samples. You want to use that, and then just do 60 frames per second. Because if you're watching a video, it only needs to be at 60. Um, you could, I believe, technically do like 120. I know there's people that can stream at 120. I've actually never tried it. Maybe someday I will try it. But 60 is good enough for watching. For playing, you want higher, but for watching, 60 is good. Um, yeah. And we got your hotkeys. Advanced, just copy everything that I have here. Um, Hold on. Let me make it bigger. Advanced, you're going to want to copy everything that I have here. So process priority, you want above normal, color format, NV12, sRGB, do limited, even though the other option is full. Full sounds better, but do limited, trust me. Force GPU is render device. This is absolutely important. Do that. Your SDR white level 300, HDR is 1000. Audio, this audio monitoring device is like you can, if I go here to my voice and go to properties, yeah, you can monitor what it's going to sound like without having to stream it, and then like go listen to it on Chrome or whatever. So you can either monitor it without the output, or if you monitor it with the output, what that does is it adds in all the filters and stuff that I have on it, and so I'm monitoring it with the filters. Um, Another very important thing. This is going to take some trial and error for you. Um, but basically you're gonna have to stream and go to Chrome or go wherever, whatever browser you watch stuff on Twitch for. Chrome uses less CPU than Firefox does, as of right now, especially with streaming. So I use Chrome when I'm streaming to Twitch. Um, but so what you want to do here, and this is going to be different for you because I use voice meter, which adds a little bit of latency in my audio. You can see this thing called sync offset. And so this is the game output, and it's offset by 110 milliseconds. So that means in the stream, the the game will make a sound, but it won't actually play in the stream for 110 milliseconds. And then my voice is set to 0 offset. And that's because there's a slight delay. If I don't have it like that, there's a slight delay between my voice and the game. Hunt Showdown has a pretty big delay. Um, I thought it was more. Maybe I changed it. Why is my camera moving around? Anyways, um, properties. Okay, no, so it's 110. All right. But basically, so the way that I did this is the way that you can change that is go into your settings, go into advanced and enable a stream delay and type in like 20 seconds, right? And then what you're going to want to do is go load into Hunt Showdown and stream it and go into training mode and shoot. And when you shoot, say into your mic, say bang, and shoot it like at the same time. So it'll be like bang, 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 right? And what you're going to do then is you're going to keep increasing this offset until the stream, like the reason that you set the delay to 30 seconds is so that you can quickly mute, so you can quickly like mute Hunt Showdown and then go to Chrome and listen to the stream yourself. And so you listen to it, and if you hear the bang and then you hear your voice say bang, and that, you know, and it's not at the same time, then you're going to increase this offset, and just keep doing that until they get matched like perfectly, or as perfectly as you can get them. But you should be able to get them perfect. So yeah, so like all games have different like offsets like that. And so anytime you go to stream a new game, ooh, bacon, nice. Anytime you go to make a new, or anytime you stream a new game, you should do a test stream first and make sure that your offset is correct so that your voice lines up with what's happening in the game, because otherwise it's going to look ridiculous. You know, it'll like I didn't know about this, and I had streams where I played like Tarkov, and you know, I would be like in a fight with a guy and I would be like, "Oh fuck yeah, I got him." And then on the screen would be like nothing, and then 10 seconds later it would show me shooting him. You know what I mean? Like that kind of shit. So like that's just bad production. And so yeah, so that's very important. You want to make sure to sync up your voice like that. And if since you're not using voice meter, yours might not be out of sync by that much. It might not be that bad. But a lot of times I'll check that at the beginning of like each stream usually. I'll just add a delay to it. And again, the way you do that is you go to settings, go to advanced, and scroll down to stream delay. You hit enable, and then turn up the duration to like turn it up to like 30 seconds. It's gonna, or like 15. It's gonna get a little tedious because you're gonna have to keep like waiting to hear the sound, but after a while you'll get really good at it where you can just kind of judge like, oh, that was probably like 25 milliseconds, and just, you know, and just add it immediately. Like, you know, don't be afraid to just kind of guesstimate and be like, that sounded like half a second, and just add 50 milliseconds to the offset and then do it again. But yeah, so that's it, very important for syncing up the audio of your stream. Um, this is for something else entirely. I'm not sure what it is. It just says low latency audio buffering, and at first I was like, "Oh, that might help with my offset," but I'm not exactly sure what deck link or NDI outputs are. I really just don't know. I have to look into it and see. This you can leave the same. This will be the same for you as it is for me, no matter what. What this does is when you record something, the way it'll name the file when it's done is it'll name it the year dash the month dash the day, and then the hour, minute, second when it was recorded. And so that way, if you have a bunch of recordings, like say you have a bunch of clips, like you did a bunch of like replay buffer, replay saves, um, you'll know that the one at the top, if you sort by date, the one at the top, like in your file explorer, if you sort by date, the one at the top will be the very first one you did. And so that makes it easy to like know which ones are which. Um, and yeah, you can change that to like however you want. I leave it as specific as possible though, because it makes it easy for me to like tell, all kinds of different shit. Um, and then the replays, I leave this. So the prefix, the file name, it'll say replay, and then it'll say, the year, month, day, hour, minute, second. So I leave this that way I can tell what's a replay, like what's an actual recording and what was like a replay that I did. Or you could add a suffix, and you could just say replay there or whatever. Um, so yeah. Let's see. I would leave this on automatically reconnect, uh enable that, retry delay. 2 seconds is fine, maximum of 40 tries before it just gives up and is like, bro, your internet's fucking dead. So yeah, that's fine, leave that like that. Leave this default, put on low latency mode though, and put on new networking code. um I haven't played around with this enough to really know if it'll help or not. What this will do is it'll just drop your bit rate if you start dropping frames. And the only problem with that is then sometimes it takes a while to bring the bit rate back up. And so it's like if you dropped a frame or so, then it drops your bit rate, and all of a sudden you go from 1080p to 480p, and then it takes like 10 seconds for it to go back up to 1080p. So that's the only reason I don't have that, because I would rather just have a few dropped frames. Like if you're dropping a shitload of frames, then you're just trying to stream or record beyond your capabilities. But if it's just like once or twice, I would rather have just a couple of dropped frames, and then it's still at 1080p versus 10-15 seconds of it going down to 480p or whatever and being like damn near unwatchable, and then slowly figuring itself out and going back to 1080. um but yeah, um turn this off, the hardware acceleration, and enable media files for caching. Leave that on. I believe that will cache the files for like your alerts and stuff and like the gifs and shit. And that way there's no like hitching when it has to load them. It doesn't have to load them every time because they're already cached basically. So yeah, scene collections, you don't need to know anything about that except for once you have a shitload of scenes like I do, you should probably export your file, I think. Or wait, is this what I'm thinking of? No. No, never mind. Disregard what I said. Forget about that. Notifications. I would leave these all on. Leave these at like 20%. These notifications are down here. So these little boxes, this is your bit rate. Um, if you click this, it'll open your notifications window, which will tell you, oh yeah, new recording, whatever, and some bullshit news that doesn't matter. But this tells you how much CPU you're using. This is your performance metrics. It's kind of you can't really see it because the fucking chat was in the way. Because Silo's eating his fucking bacon and he's in the way. But yeah, this is your performance matrix metrics. Tells you how much CPU info or how much CPU resource you're using, your bit rate, your that, your FPS, your dropped frames. Yeah, you can only see that if you're looking at Streamlabs though. So not very useful when you're playing a game. But if you like if people say in your stream like, "Hey, your shit's fucked up," then you can quickly come back to Streamlabs and click that and look at it and see what the fuck's going on. Let's see. So that's scene collections, notifications, appearance. Do nighttime because it's better. Chat. This is your chat within. God damn it! This is your chat within Streamlabs. So you can get rid of this dock if you don't want it. I leave it on there because it's nice to see the chat here as well, and like you can change how big the shit is, whatever. I'll leave it at 75. Again, enable these emotes because it gives you a bunch of emotes. If you go to better TTV, like go to Nightbot and better TTV, you can get custom emotes and because you know how like big Twitch streamers have their own emotes and stuff. That's all done through better TTV. Night Dev is the company that runs all of that. So here, let me just show you. If you just Google Night Dev, go to their shit, and then go to their projects. So here's better TTV. Nightbot is how you can do like commands and stuff in your chat. Better TTV is you log in. Yeah, it's authorized. So you log in, and now these are all my fucking emotes that I have. You can have up to 50. Um, and I think you can, yeah, there's like a pro version you can have more. But the cool thing is these emotes are also on my Discord. Because I connected my Discord server to this. And you can also connect it to your YouTube in case you stream on YouTube. But yeah, so you can add bots, editors, you can add emotes, you can upload your own emotes. So yeah, so like if I go into Discord, I can use all these. The only thing is, you can't use moving emotes. There's a lot of like GIF emotes on Better TTV, but Discord's a fucking scumbag and they want you to pay for Nitro in order to be able to use moving emotes on their dumbass fucking servers. So yeah, just keep that in mind. But yeah, and then if you go to Nightbot, once you sync it up to your Twitch channel. At first it's very easy to do. It'll just be like up here, but then you can go to commands. There's default commands. You can learn what all they are, and then there's custom commands. So um if you do exclamation point PC, it'll tell you all the specs that I wrote down for my fucking computer. Exclamation point room will give you the room number to my Brawlhalla room that I'm currently fighting in. Discord gives you a link to my Discord. YouTube gives you a link to my YouTube. There's also stuff that like people can do song requests. You can have Nightbot do like filtering for you, like it can do spam protection and shit. It's very, very useful. Nightbot and Better TTV are fucking awesome. So always enable them. Frankerface Z is also very good and is I forget where the fuck to get the Frankerface Z. But anyways, it's also very useful. um so let's see. So that's appearance. You can change the bars over here, like change what shit is there. Um because normally there's like a bunch of random bullshit that you'll never use over here. It's like stuff that they're basically trying to sell you to do. Here's Frankerface Z settings. Um, so you open these and so yeah, lots of there's mostly like emotes and stuff for Twitch. Like you can have I don't know, crazy emotes and whatever. I haven't really gotten into Frankerface a lot yet. I'm still learning a lot of other shit. Let's see. Remote control, you don't need to know. Virtual webcam, you don't need to know. Um, Basically, what virtual webcam does is you could say you were in like a Zoom call, you could select one of these scenes to be recognized as a webcam, and Zoom would be like, "Oh, hey, that's your webcam," and then you could select it and play Hunt Showdown in Zoom in a Zoom call. Yeah, that's what virtual webcam is. Game overlay. This is the coolest shit. Um, so you toggle positioning mode. Recent events is like anyone that follows you, anyone subscribes, whatever, it'll show those. And then chat shows the chat. Now, on stream, nobody can see this except for me. And that's why I like this because I have a single monitor. And so make sure you enable it, show chat. You don't have to show recent events. I just have it on there because I don't always see when someone follows me. And then I have the opacity turned down a bit so that it's not in the way of the game. Um, but like I said, it like most games, it doesn't work in exclusive full screen mode. Some games it does, but a lot of games it doesn't. And so if you run it in borderless full screen, it'll work. Like in Hunt Showdown, I run it in borderless and it works. And so yeah, so once you have it here, you're gonna want to go to your hotkey and set a hotkey to toggle in-game overlay. Mine is Alt Control L. So you do toggle positioning mode, move it where you want it. This is like where I had it before. I stick it down under the taskbar because the taskbar eventually goes away. Um, Especially the recent events because I only need like the top 3 because not many people watch my channel yet. But yeah, so you do that and then you turn off positioning mode and then you press Alt Control L and it brings it up. And so there's my chat. You can't send messages through here. So a lot of times I'll bring it down even farther like this. Um, yeah. And like cover up the send message thing because it doesn't matter because you can't send messages through there. It's strictly just for seeing the chat. And then same with this recent events thing. Um, but yeah, it's super fucking cool. That's the only reason that I don't use OBS is I have not found an overlay that's good like that, that is just for me, not for chat, that's just for me, that is good enough on just regular OBS Studio. Only Streamlabs have I found that, and I don't know how it hasn't been added to OBS yet, but yeah. So that's pretty much it. That's the settings. That's really all you need to know. Let's see. Let me think here. Let me think here. Let me think here. Um, for moving shit around, you can move stuff around. We had those snap settings that we did where it was appearance, I believe. No, advanced. Uh, fuck. Where was it? General. Okay, source alignment. So you can have the things that you drag around, you can either have the edges of them snap to other sources and also snap to the edge of the screen. This is how many pixels away it will snap. I have it set to 4, but it's very useful. Um, you can also say you have like something here and you're like, I want this to be in the middle and I can't figure out if it's in the middle. You can go to transform. There's stretch to screen. Oh God, God have mercy. Reset. Control Z also works. You can center it on screen. You can center it like oops, hold on. Center on screen. If you're accidentally moving shit in the background, click this lock, and now I can't move that back window. I can still move this, but I can't move that back window at all. So generally, all my shit is locked except for things that I want to move. So I'll like unlock them to move them. Um, but okay, so say it's here and I don't want it in the center. I just want it centered like vertically. So it'll put it in the middle, vertically like that. So you can see like 504 pixels and 504 pixels on either side. Um, and then, yeah, you can fucking flip it horizontally, flip it vertically. You can just rotate it, all kinds of stuff. You can group it with other sources. So see how this one has a folder? It says goal and text. That's what this is. Hold on, let me shut all this stuff off. That's what this is. This is actually not one thing. It's two things. But I have the lock on so that if the lock is on, that means I can move or hold on. If I select the top thing, that means I can move both of them together, right? If I select just one of them, then it moves just one of them. So this is an actual counter from Twitch. It's a goal counter, and every time I get a follow, it'll go up. And then this is just a fucking text message that I put on top of it, because usually the goal counter uh, has like its own text that you can use, but I don't like how it looks and you can't change it as much. So I like to just put my own text on top of it, right? And then let's see. Let me ungroup into folder. So now I have goal text and goal banner. And you can even do it with them not separate. So if I do that and hold control and click this one, it'll select both of them. right click, go to group and group into folder, um, and just go goal there. And now if I click this and move this, it'll move both of them around. So this can be used for a lot of different stuff. This is like obviously not the, the best example of it, but like it can be used for a lot of different shit to like group things together and move them. And you can also lock and unlock them individually. So like I can move this here and then unlock it and then lock the actual folder and it'll or and then it'll lock them both together like so. Yeah. But all right, I think that is everything, and then you can close it just by clicking the folder. um let's see. There's blending modes, which you don't really need to know yet. This is more for like, uh, I don't know, doing like overlay stuff. You can get into that later. What like as you stream, as you get better at streaming and learn more about the program. Um, but yeah, basically, like I can make fucking the goal banner behind it uh blend differently with the hold on, I guess I want the one in front of it. Blend differently with the stuff in the back. Like there's all kinds of crazy shit you can do. Um, so yeah, I think that's it. Honestly, I believe that is it, my man. Um, if you got any questions, feel free to ask me. Like I said, my Discord is also in my about me, on Twitch. So feel free to join the Discord and ask me stuff. Like I'll do voice chats and like stream, like you could stream shit on Discord and I'll literally like watch it in a VC with you and fucking, like walk you through shit if you need me to, if you're trying to figure some stuff out. But yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything. Um yeah. Like I said, if you got any questions, just fucking ask me. Um Highlighter is like you can save a clip and send it straight to YouTube. I find it easier to just fucking use the replay and then send it myself to YouTube. Um but yeah, if you I think anytime that you save a replay, it'll like show up here, or you can import a clip and send it to YouTube from here. But it's dumb. It's no faster than just going to YouTube and doing it. Um so yeah. Uh Studio mode, um, a lot of people will have like multiple transitions that they will, or multiple scenes, like these are scenes, these are sources within the scenes. So they'll have multiple scenes, like, if I'm at my intro cam and then I want to transition to, the live, it'll, it'll fucking, like I can click this and it'll like transition to it. And you can set up little fancy transitions like where it kind of like fades away and comes in and whatever. Your layout editor, so this is let me turn off studio mode. So this is your editor, right? Like I have my scenes, my sources, my mixer, and then I have my preview here, and you can make that small, big, whatever. You can bring the chat out bigger. There's another, these little arrows. You can close that. Where was I usually make the chat the smallest. I must have turned it off, but you there was a bar here for the recent events as well. But if you click layout editor, you can change, so like you can see like this is my current layout. Let me close chat. This is my current layout, and you can create different layouts and save them, and then like switch between them pretty much. And these give you little elements that you can like drag and drop into stuff. So there's like a stream preview, a recording preview, whatever, all kinds of shit. And then you can change like the actual, layout function of it. So like I like this one because it works for me. But say I want scene selector there, and now my editor displays there. So if I go back to editor, oh wait, hold on. I think I had to save it. Save changes. So yeah, so now my preview's down there and my my fucking scenes are up there. Which is, ridiculous. But yeah. So you can change that to however you want. Um Pretty much all of these can be moved, I believe. Um or not, or I'm just lying. Uh I think it depends on the layout, honestly. Um I always have, because of the audio program I have, I always have a lot of audio sources. So, like, say we go to Brawl, here I have like Discord, Brawl, alerts, and whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I'll make this like bigger, and that way I can see all the alerts at once, or like all the audio things at once. Um, yeah. And I think that's pretty much it. You can make fucking Twitch chat massive, big donger. Um, yeah. I think that's it. Yeah. Usually I do that because it like I know which one these things are. And generally you're only going to be in the editor here. Like editor or settings. That's all you need to know there. So this is nice because it gives you quite a bit of room here. And yeah. But all right, man. I think that's it. Um, hup, hup, hup. Let's go back to this. Uh-oh, you saw my desktop. Oh no. Anyways. So yeah, so I think that is gonna be it for the stream. Like I said, if you got any questions, feel free to join the Discord. It's an open link to the Discord, so you can just fucking join whenever. I'm gonna play Hunt Showdown now. It's 11 o'clock. That went a little longer than I expected, but honestly, not as long as I expected. I can fucking ramble on about shit because I get mixed up in my head a lot, and yeah, whatever. But I think I did okay. I'm sure some of it's pretty confusing, but as you go through it yourself, like and look through it yourself, I think you'll understand it a lot more. But yeah, man, good luck. I will I'll try to save this to my YouTube as well. Cause otherwise it'll go away within 8 days due to Twitch's new stupid ass fucking VOD rules. So I didn't record it, but I think I could at least like keep breaking it up into chunks of highlights and then sending those highlights over to YouTube. If not, just being able to send the whole thing over to YouTube. But yeah, man, that is gonna be it. So I'm gonna fucking get on some Hunt Showdown and blast some fools into non-existence, set some people on fire, And maybe if you join the Discord, we can play some Hunt together as well. That'd be awesome. I would love to have some people to play Hunt with because it's a lot of fun. I've been having a blast with it. But all right, man. I will catch you later. Hopefully this helps you out. Deuces. Deuces.